Hello and welcome to Logos College Online Learning. This is Ajarn Toto, and today I'm going to talk to you about the last section, Section D in Unit 57 of your Grammar in Use Intermediate textbook. Right? So if you want to go ahead and turn to Unit 57. Quick reminder about some things. Unit 57 is about prefer and would rather. It's where you make a choice, things that you're choosing something you would rather do or would you prefer to do. Okay? And there's some small differences. The biggest thing I want you to remember is the infinitive is to in the base form of the verb, and the gerund is the base form of the verb and ing. Okay? Prefer. You can use it with the infinitive or with the gerund or with nouns. I would prefer, I prefer, that's a little different. All right, you use it with nouns and the infinitive. We don't use a gerund with would prefer. We say I prefer to drive. We don't say I prefer driving. And then when I left off last video, I talked about would rather, and I would rather is different from I would prefer, because I would rather, you have to use the base form of the verb. Right? You don't use the infinitive. Right? You use the base form of the verb with would rather. Look at the example they gave you. All right. I'd rather drive. We don't say, I'd rather to drive. But with prefer, you do say, I prefer to drive. Okay. If you want to say no, remember we put not in between rather, prefer, and then the verb. Okay, you put it right between rather or prefer and the verb. Okay. I'd rather not do something. And today, I want to talk a little bit more about I'd rather. Right? So this is section D in your book. So I'd rather you did something. Notice this is different because you're not talking about yourself. Okay? Now you're talking about somebody else. You want somebody else to do something. So when you do this, you're adding a noun. In this case, you're adding a pronoun. I'd rather you did something. So when you do this style, this structure, where you're telling somebody your preference of what you want them to do, you have to use the past tense of the verb. Notice, I'd rather you did something, not I'd rather you do something. So, look at this example. I'll fix your car tomorrow, okay? I'd rather you did it today. So, I prefer this. Is it okay if Ben stays here? I'd rather he came with us. Notice it's the past tense, came, not present tense, comes. Okay. Shall I tell them, or would you rather they didn't know? Not don't know. So when we use a structure, even though we use the past tense of the verbs, did, came, the meaning is not something that happened in the past. You're still talking about present, the present, right? So don't get confused. It's not something that's already finished. Okay? You're using the past tense, but when you do it with I'd rather, you're talking about present tense. Let's take a look at this comparison they give you. I'd rather make dinner now. Notice that it's not what he did yesterday. The action is not completed. So the meaning is, I'd rather you made dinner now. I'd rather you made dinner now. So the past tense of make is made. So here, notice right here, it says, I'd rather make dinner now. That means you're talking about yourself. Okay? But when you want someone else to do something, you're adding this noun right here. Okay? You have to use the past tense of the verb. And the past tense of make is made. Let's look at when you say no, something, when you prefer someone not do something. I prefer you didn't do something. I prefer that you not do it. Right? So remember, when we use a negative in English, we use the verb do. And do, the past tense of do is did. So when we say did not, when we use a structure, I'd rather you didn't do something. Look at the example they gave you. I'd rather you didn't tell anyone what I said. Should I tell Stephanie? I'd rather you didn't. Okay, let's look at exercise 57.3. They want you to complete the sentences using would you rather I do it. Would you rather I did it? I'm sorry. Okay. Look at number one. Are you going to make dinner, or would you rather I made it? Notice that there is a noun, in this case the pronoun I, after rather, so therefore you have to change the verb into past tense. And the verb in this case is the verb make. Number two, are you going to tell Anne what happened, or would you rather, past tense of tell is told. So the answer, you come over here, text box, click. Or would you rather I told her? Okay. Are you going to tell Anne what happened, or would you rather I told her? Number three, are you going to go shopping, or would you rather I did it? Okay. Because the phrase is to do the shopping. Or you could say, are you going to go shopping? Or would you rather I did the shopping? Okay. I would just stick with, or would you rather I did it? I'll let you finish number 4. Exercise 57.4. They want you to complete the sentences. Okay. Should I tell Anne the news? No, I'd rather she didn't know. Right? I'd rather she not know. I prefer that she not know. I'd rather she didn't know. Right? We must use the past tense here because there's a noun, a pronoun after rather. Do you want me to go now, or would you rather I, opposite of go is stay. Would you rather I stayed here? Okay. Number 3, do you want to go out tonight, or would you rather at home? The opposite of go out is stay at home. Right? Number 4, this is a private letter addressed to me. I'd rather you read it. So if something is private, you probably don't want the person to read it. So the opposite of don't is didn't. Right. I'm sorry, the past tense of don't is did not. So your answer here, this is a private letter addressed to me. I'd rather you did not read it. Okay. Or you can put the contraction didn't. Okay. All right, I'm going to send homework home to you, and I'm going to send it in Google Slides, and I want you to complete it the exact same way I just did it. We use the text box here, and then you click on answer line, and then just type in your answer, and then that's it. Okay. So I want you to remember that Google, once you make a change, any changes that you make in Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, whatever, it automatically saves it for you. Okay. So once you do your homework, I don't want you to come here and share it with me. Okay. I want you to send it through Google Classroom. Okay. Most important things to remember about today. When we use I'd rather you, or I'd rather him, I'd rather he, she, you have to use the past tense of the verb that follows the noun or pronoun. The meaning of the meaning of the sentence, though, is not in the past, but it's right now. It's in the present. Okay, I'm going to send exercise 57.1, point 2, point 3, and point 4 home with you. Okay, that's going to be it for this exercise. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our Logos College YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.